All right, let's look at example 2 here. A hockey coach wants to determine the players who take many practice shots during practice have a higher shooting percentage during the games. So the shooting percentage is calculated by dividing the number of goals scored by the number of shots taken. The coach records the number of practice shots 20 players take each practice, compares the number with each player's shooting percentage over the season. Is there a linear relationship between the practice shots and the shooting percentage? Use the correlation coefficient R to explain your answer. So here's the data, right? Or data, whatever you want to say. The number of practice shots and the player's shooting percentage. So to show you the graph of what that looks like, the scatter plot, here it is. So you can immediately tell between the first example and this one that this should have a stronger relationship, a stronger correlation. It appears that there is a very linear relationship going on between the number of practice shots taken and your shooting percentage. Okay. It also appears to be a positive linear. So we should expect our R value to be both positive and close to 1. Okay. Now, first things first, again, how do we get two things? One, the equation of the best fit line. Y'all have been kind of guessing at those and calculating them by hand, but we don't have to do that anymore. We can use the calculator. And yes, I know you're mad at me that I didn't tell you about the calculator before, but there was a reason for that. So, anyway, since we can do that, we go to data. I've already put in all the points. So we hit second. So if you're still forgetting that, so second data to get to the stats page. From the stats page, we have two variable stats. Okay. And then my X's are L1 and my Y's are L2. And pretty much that's always the way you're going to put it in, so that you don't have to change that page. Now, the average number of practice shots is 156. The average percentage, shooting percentage is 7.8. Okay. So then we skip all this other stuff that we don't really need for ninth grade math. And we're going to look for these three things, A, B, and R. So remember, Y equals AX plus B. I don't know why they use A instead of M. I don't know what the actual reasoning for that is, but it doesn't matter because it's still slope. So we're going to round to 2 decimal places since obviously it's such a small increase. So 0.05, because the 5 right there kicks the 4 up. X plus 69. Okay. Now, again, think about the context of those problems. If you didn't take any practice shots, you would expect your shooting percentage to be a 0.69, 0.7. Okay. Which basically you're making less than 1% of your shots, which is really low. And then for every practice shot you take, right, you increase, by 5, basically 0.05 of a percent. Or if you think about it this way, for every 100 practice shots you take, you increase by 5%. Okay, so that's what the slope and y-intercept mean in the context of this problem. Now, the next thing we want to look at is that R value. That R value on this thing is 0.94. That's what I'm talking about. That is a very strong positive correlation. That means that these two things are very closely related to each other. Okay, so how would you describe that? It is a strong positive correlation. And anybody who plays a sport knows that's the number one thing any coach is ever going to tell you. You want to get better at whatever it is you're doing? Practice, practice, practice. So that's, it's my old coaching tidbit for that. There's a strong positive correlation. All right, so I'm going to stop the video here. I know it was a super short one. Actually, before I do that, one more thing I want to show you because I've had some people ask about it. So if you hit clear, it takes you back to your data screen. Some of you have been trying to go, okay, delete, and like delete individual values, and it's taking you forever. I've mentioned it to a couple of people, but here's my hint for everybody. If you're trying to clear out everything from your table, if you hit the data key again, it pulls up this screen. Clear L1, clear L2, clear L3, and the one that you can't see is clear all, right? You don't have to scroll down, but if you hit 4, so if I hit 4, then it is going to clear my entire data screen, and I can start over on my next problem. All right, so I got one more example to show you. It'll be relatively short like this one. So stay tuned, check it out real quick. It won't take you very long. All right.